I have a message I want to give out there to a lot of paranormal channels. Okay, I was thinking about something a lot for the past couple days now, and I was debating whether I wanted to film a video. To the people out there who fake, and they know they fake, and they put it on as if they're catching real evidence. If you are at the height of your career and you are really releasing, or maybe not even just the height of your career, but you are on the verge of gaining massive audiences, you got to ask yourself one serious question. And there is going to be an example that I'm going to give you that I think should literally have you questioning whether you want to go through with this or not. Now, at the time, copy and pasting certain paranormal channels might sound like a phenomenal idea. Like, you got to put on a show. You got to get people spooked. You got to get people pumped up and excited, which is obviously a good thing. But I want you to ask yourselves, is it worth it? And the example I'm going to give is the Warrens. Ed and Lorraine Warren, back in 2013, they were at the height of their career. Everybody knew who Ed and Lorraine Warren were simply because of the release of The Conjuring. The Conjuring was one of the scariest films ever released. Ever. I saw it in theaters. I loved it. I still love it today because it's entertainment. It's pure entertainment. It's a movie. Okay? It's based on a true story. It's a movie. It's entertainment. After that, became so sensational. It was almost a household name. Everybody would talk about Ed and Lorraine Warren. More so Lorraine Warren because she was still alive at the time. Ed passed away, I want to believe, in 2006. This was the beginning of people viewing those two as one of the most beloved, believable couples on the face of the planet. People loved them. They viewed them as heroes. They viewed them as people who would go out of their way to save people from demonic activity, the darkest depths of the paranormal, in which, a lot of people believe. They were the highlights. And in most recent years, and I gotta say, all of this started when Sam and Colby did their Surviving a Week at the Conjuring House. People started to question so much shit. And they will continue to question things from now on. Even people who love Sam and Colby don't believe everything they do. As a matter of fact, a lot of Sam and Colby fans comment on my videos saying, love watching Sam and Colby, but I have to view them as entertainment. Not something Sam and Colby has asked them to do, but something they have to do on their own. They have to view them as entertainment because if they try to view them any other way, they cannot get through their content. This is becoming more equivalent. Ed and Lorraine Warren, look at where they are now. They're being ridiculed. Tomatoes being thrown left and right at the Warrens Foundation. People looking at people saying that you're stupid for even believing Annabelle is haunted. Look at what the evidence suggests. Look at the history. Look at everything Ed and Lorraine Warren have done. Now it's more known. You know how many posts of recent I have gone through of The Conjuring: The Last Rites on Facebook and Instagram where people are pointing out that these guys were scam artists? Why are you supporting them? They're scam artists. They took advantage of people. They lied about everything. Ed Warren did this. Lorraine Warren did that. She knew about this. All over social media. And they have no more say in what anybody thinks of them anymore. This was because they put on a life of lies. They put on a life of deceit, giving people false hopes, and telling people that they're honest and they're real. This is the entire life of Ed and Lorraine Warren. And now, because they have passed away and people have now had the time to do research, dig deep, it's going to happen more and more and more. Things have come to the light. And they have no say in whatever gets said. They have no way to defend themselves. They have no way to talk about it. This is the path of a deceitful person. This is the path of a liar who puts on a show. Ed and Lorraine Warren were all about the show. Books, movies, red carpet events. It was obvious. They loved it. I'm not saying they shouldn't have, but they loved it. All based on lies, over-exaggerations, telling people that your house was haunted when it wasn't. This is where your overall career is going to end up. You put on this entire charade, you put on this entire act, you get people all pumped up and excited, very good stuff, but you don't put a disclaimer in the beginning of your videos or any lick of honesty throughout your content. Sometimes it's been very obvious that you just go along with it because you know a ghost being in that building is scarier than no ghost being in that building. It's more entertaining. And that's the truth of the matter. It is. But you're not being honest about it. I don't even think a lot of these people maybe even believe a lot of these devices really work. When you sit back and look at it, yeah, the flashlight method is pretty fucking silly. And there's a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of flaws with that method. And that is why I will not believe it. Anybody who throws any ounce of common sense and logic into your paranormal investigations would obviously see that. But there is none. When I know for a fact these people are not stupid. And I hope they take that as a compliment. I don't believe any of these people are stupid. But I do believe they will do whatever it takes for the content. If you are out there lying to your audiences and you choose not to be real, but say you're real on camera, when your career is all that's left on YouTube and social media, people are going to go back to those videos and they are going to point out every inconsistency. The Warrens, at least, didn't document everything. They wrote books, but they didn't document everything. So there's still a lot of mystery within their lives. But here you've posted everything. People are beginning to notice that you're Sam and Colby, for example, can put on a show. They can fake cry. Sam admitted this on a video, that whole Sam Pepper thing was an act. That's some of the best fucking fake crying I have seen in a long time, if that was an act. Then he cried in the Conjuring series. Then he cried again during the Three Evil Doll video. He's good at crying. Kind of makes me think he's probably good at acting. It's beginning to look more like a show to me. Everything has a deeper meaning, a message behind it. Sounds like it's a little scripted. Because that's not how investigations go. Don't get me wrong, all of the messages that they show are beautiful. I'll admit that. Yes, the power of love is beautiful. Loving everything, living life to the fullest, all of that is great. But if it's coming from a lie, false hope, does it have any oomph behind it? Should I take a word you say? Like, should I be even excited that you're saying it if you're a deceitful person? I don't know. Gotten to the point with a lot of these content creators, I'm sitting here asking myself, is it going to be worth it at the end of the day? Maybe if I had never watched Debunkers at all, maybe that's where I would have been. I would have been out there on camera, fucking running down the hallway because I didn't know any better. When a red pod goes off, it's more than likely just the REM pod. When a flashlight goes off, it's just a flashlight being a flashlight. Maybe if I didn't know any better and I didn't actually put the time and effort in to do my research to figure out what these devices do. Hell, I wouldn't even known that a walkie-talkie can set off a REM pod from a distance. If you have the walkie-talkie on, you press a button, face it at that direction. I would never have known. Would never have known. I would have been made to look like a fool. I would have been obviously I would not have been aware of it, but I would have looked like a fool. But I watched a video that did my research. Now I know better than not to trust a lot of these devices. There's no excuse anymore. If you are a ghost hunter out there and you just refuse to watch any of these videos debunking any of these devices, or you may have watched them and you're just letting it go right by your head, I don't know what to tell you. At that point, it just feels like you're just out there to do what a lot of these bigger content creators are doing. And that's unfortunately where the paranormal is going. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. And it's not like that hasn't happened like in other realms or other categories of YouTube videos or content. You know, Mr. Beast gets copycats all the time. People trying to do the Mr. Beast thing. They fail because Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast, but they try to do it. A lot of paranormal channels like to do this. A lot of ghost hunting channels like to do this, where they want to copy Sam and Colby or Ghost Adventures, and they fail. But they know that if it worked for Sam and Colby, it will probably work for them. I'm not saying all of them are trying to deceive their audiences. Maybe a lot of them do believe in all this equipment. But the evidence and the proof is out there for you to finally find it. So go out there and find it. Please, do so. The stuff that is going to be pointed out after everything is said and done are the things that are going to be the most suspicious. The things that make no sense. The things that are obviously put on as an act. Those are the things that are going to be pointed out for you. And after all of that is said and done, people will determine you're nothing more than a con artist. The Warrens are the biggest examples. Look at what is happening to them right now. They chose this, though. They put on this entire charade. Movies after movies after movies were put out. Families were taken advantage of. People are learning, and it's happening more and more the more they're talked about. You just got to ask yourself that question. Is a life of deceit really, really worth it? If you have not looked at the Warren situation as an example of what could happen after all this is said and done, then maybe you should start looking. This is what the life of a deceitful paranormal investigator could look like. Granted, there are people who don't believe in the paranormal anyways, and they think you're crazy just for even believing. I believe in the paranormal, but I also believe in liars. And, the one thing that those people can probably agree with me on is that there's more factual evidence of people lying than there is factual evidence of the real paranormal.